When I first came to Grand Valley, I didn't really know what I wanted to get involved in. There was like a lot of things that I had the possibility of getting involved in. I just didn't know where to settle just yet.
I also liked the variety of academic programs, so I knew that even though I didn't know what I wanted to major in or what I wanted to do, I would be able to figure it out.
It definitely is extremely scary researching an organization, putting yourself out there, going to a meeting. And that's something I think that all of us are a little bit intimidated by right off the bat. But these are organizations who really want to meet you and connect with you as well, as much as you may be interested in connecting with them too.
Looking over Laker Link, there were a lot of opportunities and organizations. I knew coming to college that I wanted to be involved. So just looking over that just exposed me to many organizations that I had no idea even existed.
So I went to Campus Life Night and I met the improv team, and they were really pushing me to just go for it.
And so I got the information for the first meeting, and I was so nervous because I was just a little baby freshman and I was terrified that I wasn't going to quite fit in. But when I got there, it was like everyone was super outgoing and like just as weird and super into it and really creative.
It's just so cool seeing so many diverse people who truly probably would never interact with each other, interacting with each other through this community that's established. And for me, it just gives me that home away from home that I think everyone really deserves to find.
It's allowed me to come in with this mentality of I'm gonna bring my idea here today and they're gonna bring their ideas in here today and we're gonna build something amazing.
So it really changed my college experience, because as soon as I found that community, I realized that I did feel at home here and that I was going to be okay for the next 4 years.
That's what I really appreciate about Grand Valley, because they open up opportunities, they create opportunities for students to really learn more about themselves and just get prepared for life post-graduation.
I think without the Lantern freshman year, a lot would have changed. I wouldn't have been able to have opportunities like reporting for the New York Times or the internships I have right now.
And because of that, it allows me to bring those skills to the workplace that makes me unique.
It really was the beginning of offering myself leadership opportunities to connect with people who are from different lifestyles, backgrounds, opinions from me.
And so being involved does not necessarily mean you have to hold a leadership position. Being involved just means you're active in your community. You willingly show up, you enjoy it.
What getting involved in outside the classroom is a step forward in your education, in your social life, in your college experience as a whole.
In college, sometimes it's very easy to get sucked into that academic sphere of you focus solely on your academics, which is great, but also college is about preparing you for that career that follows after graduation.
I'll definitely say that by me getting involved, I've not only seen an increase in my GPA and seen an increase in my overall mental health and physical health, and bringing in something that's not academic and bringing something that doesn't have anything to do with my major has allowed me to become more of a holistic individual.
And sometimes it takes a little bit of time to figure out what that community is for you. But if you are interested in something, or if you're passionate about something, pursue it and find an organization that will feed and grow that passion.
We all have our own stories before we came to GV, and we all still have our own stories, and we're able to bring that together, and that just expands our friendship and our family bond so much more, and it makes us so much stronger.
Good morning and welcome to Admitted Student Day. I'm Libby Bonnell. I'm Assistant Director of Admissions here at Grand Valley, and I'm just so excited to have y'all with us. I know there's a lot of uneasiness in everyone's lives right now, and one uncertainty I hope to help you with today is your college decision. All of you were admitted to Grand Valley, and we want you to be a part of the Laker community. I hope this session will help you decide that you want to be a part of this unique community. Additionally, we want to walk you through the next steps leading up to August 30th, the first day of classes. Before we dive in, let's go over the agenda and some housekeeping. Throughout this 45-minute session, my colleague is going to be answering your questions in the Q&A. So I encourage you to ask a question or two, or simply state exactly what you wish to get out of this session. If we don't answer it live, we will privately in the Q&A. We will also be placing helpful information and links in the chat box, so I hope you can pay attention to that as well. First, we will discuss the student experience you may have if you attend Grand Valley in the fall. I'll cover a few items, and Professor Anderson will talk about the academic experience. We will also talk about financial aid and paying for school, and then you'll be hearing from some Grand Valley students and their experience on campus. We will also go over the housing process and wrap up with the steps that lead you to August. So I'm excited. Let's dive in. Okay, so once you become a member of the Laker community, you will soon find your Laker effect. The Laker effect is a positive, it's a movement for positive change. It sets our students apart as passionate leaders and ambassadors. It's what you want to do with your life that will impact your profession, your family, and your society. And the foundation of your Laker effect begins with the liberal education focus. Ultimately, it's about getting a well-rounded education so your degree doesn't just prepare you for your first job, but for the rest of your life. First-year students fill the majority of their fall and winter course schedule with these liberal education classes. It's only 35 to 41 credit hours, and students take about 30 credits a year. In addition to your first-year courses meeting graduation requirements, they will help you explore curriculum to decide on a major. They provide you the critical thinking, writing, and cultural diversity skills all employers want you to have. So think of the liberal education requirements as giving you the breadth of educational tools to make a long-lasting career, and your major requirements providing you the depth of your industry. The chat includes links for more information on the liberal education program, as well as how AP, IB tests, and high school dual enrollment credit can help you complete degree requirements. Although we have a wide variety of majors to choose from, we are best known for the health sciences, engineering, and computing. Any major you choose can be coupled with the honors college. Honors could be a good fit for those who want to be challenged in a smaller community within Grand Valley. So please go to our website for more information because you have until May 1st to apply. Let's talk about our beautiful campus located in Allendale. This is where the majority of our 20,000 undergraduates reside, and this is where the majority of your classes are located. We'll talk more about visiting campus in a moment, but I've dropped a link into the chat of an 18-minute campus tour we recorded during the beginning of the pandemic. Depending on your major, you could have some classes in downtown Grand Rapids, located just 12 miles from Allendale. It is the second largest city in Michigan. At the downtown campuses, we offer support services that you see at main campus, even housing and dining. Allendale provides us with the rich residential atmosphere, and the city allows our students to get fully engaged in experiential learning. A very important amenity at GVSU is the free busing system. The bus system called the Laker Line continuously runs about every 10 minutes between Grand Rapids and Allendale campuses, as early as 5:30 a.m. and as late as 2 a.m. this semester. Now you can bring a car to Grand Valley and pay a $210 semester parking fee, but the Laker Line will take you to concerts once those start up again downtown, or just the Meyer Shopping Center right off campus to get granola bars and Gatorade for your dorm room. Okay, these next two slides show a breakdown of the undergraduate and graduate programs at the Health and Pew campus in Grand Rapids. What makes the Health campus so unique is that it's right on the medical mile. You are in the health hub of Grand Rapids. You're next to Mercy Health, Spectrum Hospital, and DeVos Children's Hospital. And your classrooms look like you are in a hospital. You will be exposed to our many simulation labs, and you'll be able to work with these high fidelity mannequins that blink and weigh the same as humans. Now, right around the block, you'll find the Pew campus, and here's a list of the undergraduate and graduate programs there at Pew. Grand Valley has many partnerships with companies and organizations. Pew is home to state-of-the-art facilities and classrooms like our simulation stock and trade room in the business college. So the whole idea around the experience at Grand Valley is to prepare you for what lies ahead. We will provide you with so many resources to take advantage of and take what you're learning in the classroom and apply it to the real world. Grand Valley, centered in West Michigan, a 20-minute drive to hundreds of companies and organizations. We're also about 3 hours from Detroit and Chicago. So our location and strong network provides students with a plethora of internships and other experiential learning. We are nationally ranked for study abroad participation. and we have over 4,000 programs. Our Office of Undergraduate Research provides many opportunities to get involved in your industry. And it's not just science majors that conduct research at Grand Valley. For example, the psychology department is exploring the strongest psychological factors that predict who will get the vaccine, as well as how our way of thinking determines how we view the pandemic. And an example of current research taking place in collaboration of multiple liberal arts majors is a study how Black women are represented in popular US magazines. Okay, and lastly, Laker Lifetime Learning, better known as L3, support doesn't just end when you graduate. You will continue to receive financial support to enhance your education, career support, and alumni networking. All right, so I've been at Grand Valley for 10 years now, and year after year, I become more and more impressed with the faculty that teach our students. Please read Dr. Anderson's bio here. It's quite impressive. Students get to work individually with faculty through mentoring, advising, and research. So let's hear from a dedicated faculty member now. May I introduce Dr. Donovan Anderson, Professor of German and Associate Dean for Faculty Hiring and Planning.
Good morning. My name is Donovan Anderson. And first of all, I want to extend a warm welcome to everyone, but especially to all of the students who have been admitted to Grand Valley. Congratulations, not only for your acceptance, but for everything you've accomplished to make that possible. You all have had quite a rough year. This is my 15th year at Grand Valley. It's a privilege to be part of this community. The people who work here, from faculty to staff and administrators, love this place and believe in its core mission: to provide students with all of the support they need to be successful, not only in the classroom, but also outside of it. Whether that means support for networking and building community on campus, for making connections and becoming involved in community-based projects or internships, or for finding pathways to life and careers after graduation. There is a sense of common purpose and a belief in that mission. I taught at 4 universities before I came to Grand Valley. I love to teach, but I had never been at a place where teaching is so valued. And that's really what makes Grand Valley special. Professors who aren't committed to student success don't thrive here, and they don't stay here. Those who stay and make their careers are dedicated teachers. In fact, the peer pressure to be a good teacher is real. And I'm constantly amazed by the things my colleagues do to improve as teachers and to engage students. For instance, redesigning a chemistry course that not only teaches introductory chemistry, but that also integrates metacognitive skill training, learning how to study more effectively, skills that will pay off in all classes students take. Or those who write and utilize open resource textbooks for their classes so that students don't have to purchase textbooks. We have national leaders in standards-based grading on our faculty who are rethinking how grading is done in order to help ensure that students learn the necessary skills. Faculty who create consulting opportunities for students and for classes to work with local communities to solve problems. And many faculty who design and redesign their syllabi, their activities and their assignments each semester in order to respond to student and peer feedback. Professors will be your guides to success in your coursework. They will provide opportunities to conduct research. There will be resources for study abroad and internship opportunities, fellowships, graduate school, connections to alumni, and insight into pathways to future careers. These faculty are eager to get to know you. Make sure you develop those relationships early on when you get to campus. Connecting with your professors is a key part of the college experience. And at Grand Valley, we're pretty easy to meet. I'm going to talk a little bit about the academic opportunities at Grand Valley, those that I've had the opportunity to observe up close: study abroad, undergraduate research, first year learning communities. The single most rewarding thing I do as a professor is to take students on a faculty-led study abroad program to Germany. Students spend 6 weeks at our partner institution, living with host families while they take classes. It's wonderful to see them grapple with cultural differences, to meet, study, and socialize with students from Germany, and to realize how transformative it is to get to know someone else in their native language and not only in English. Most students have never been abroad before, and every year there's also a student who's never been on an airplane. These students aren't necessarily language majors. They build on that little study abroad program and the language and cultural skills they developed to turn degrees in English, philosophy, international relations, supply chain management, biomedical sciences, and business into careers in teaching refugees, law, management, human resources, and fundraising. Working one-on-one with students is likewise extraordinarily rewarding. We place a high value on undergraduate research in all areas across the university, from nursing and health professions to economics, English, and biology. Grand Valley has an Office of Undergraduate Research and Scholarship that coordinates, facilitates, and supports undergraduate research on campus. That office puts on a campus-wide research fair every spring where students from across the university present their research. They organize the Student Summer Scholars Program, which provides students with funding to work on a research project over the summer instead of having to work a summer job. They provide grants to students to help defray the cost of travel to academic conferences, and they provide resources for faculty like me to become better mentors of student research. These students aren't necessarily budding academics and future professors. We view this kind of research opportunity as an integral part of the college experience for all students. First-year learning communities are also high-impact academic experiences that allow students to connect with faculty. The university has organized a set of courses that are connected so that students get to know each other better and to see more clearly the connections between the different courses they take. In what ways, for instance, does a philosophy course intersect with a course on social work? And how are both of these courses relevant to what is going on outside of the classroom today? These are great opportunities to make friends, to get to know two faculty members really well, and to be introduced to the many resources and opportunities Grand Valley has to offer. I noted earlier the commitment to teaching and to student success that is central to our identity as members of the Grand Valley community. What I also love is the commitment to integrating a liberal arts education into all of our majors. This interdisciplinary perspective is a powerful lens through which to see and understand the world we live in. Liberal education seeks to prepare students for the uncertainties that are yet to come. The world you all will work in over the next 50 years will be drastically different than the world my generation has known. The last 12 months have shown us that much. Many jobs you will be called on to do and problems your generation will be called on to solve don't yet exist. Those wicked problems, the continued rapid growth of the world's population, the effects of global warming, mass migrations of people, rising nationalism, managing global pandemics, these kinds of problems can only be solved through the expertise from multiple disciplines and perspectives. And if you're undecided, it's okay to be undecided. It's normal to change your mind. There are all sorts of fantastic things to learn, and your liberal education will present lots of opportunities. You will encounter new people, new ideas, and paths will open for you that you might never have imagined. As I think about the power of liberal education, I'm reminded of countless students I've had the fortune to know and to observe as they develop and pursue interests and grow into their post-GVSU lives. And this education is always a dynamic process. Danny, who was undecided about what he wanted to do with his life until he connected an interest in travel and cars with his degree in supply chain management to find an internship and a career abroad. Sean, who studied mechanical engineering and took a few classes in German and was hired on the spot by a German company when they heard about his interest in the language. Stephanie, who couldn't settle on one subject, studied biomedical sciences and chemistry, conducted research in a lab, and studied abroad twice, joining the GVSU Sailing Club. And she found employment in a research institute on the Baltic Sea, where you can do science, work with people who speak different languages, and go sailing 6 months a year. Or Sarah, a student from a small town in northern Michigan, who tutored refugees from Eritrea, studied abroad, taught in a Dutch school with colleagues from the Grand Valley English department, presented a paper at an international conference in Denmark, and went to Germany to teach English to immigrants. These are the stories of our students at Grand Valley, taking classes, learning skills, making connections, and finding their way. I'm fortunate to be able to work with them. And in closing, I'd like to say, we hope you choose Grand Valley, and we hope to see you here this fall.
All right, good morning, and thank you for joining us. My name is Jenna, and I work in the Office of Financial Aid and Scholarships here at Grand Valley. I'm going to take a couple of minutes this morning to go over a few things with you. We're going to talk about the financial aid award letter, paying the bill, scholarship, student employment, and any special circumstances that you may have. The first thing I want to quickly go over is the financial aid award letter. So you should have received your financial aid award letter, and if you haven't yet, please feel free to reach out and contact our office, and we can help make sure that you get that just as soon as possible. There is still time to file the FAFSA if you have not done that as well. Once you file the FAFSA and get that completed, we can get an award letter out to you. So you will receive an email with a personalized link to your award letter, and it may look something like this. It's broken down between scholarships and grants, if you are eligible for work study, and then we have loans. If you have any specific questions on your award letter, please feel free to contact our office directly at any time. Another thing that you will notice on your financial aid award letter is the estimated cost to attend Grand Valley State University. We want to make sure that you are aware as you plan for your finances for the fall semester and the winter semester, that you have an idea of what to expect. So we're going to break down that estimated cost based on tuition and housing, which are the direct costs. Those are the costs that you're going to see on the Grand Valley bill when you receive that in July. We are going to personalize your award letter by subtracting the scholarships and grants that you may be eligible for, let you know about what it may cost for you to attend Grand Valley after that free money pays to your account, and then you can make a choice on how to fund the rest of it. If you're going to borrow loans, if you're going to pay out of pocket, if you're going to go on a deferment plan, there are many different ways to get those costs covered. So once you receive your financial aid award letter, be sure to take a look at that. It's going to give you all the information that you need to make an educated financial decision on attending Grand Valley. In addition to the direct costs that you will be charged on your bill, we want to make sure that you are aware of the indirect costs that you would be expected to pay for at your time at Grand Valley. Those include things like books and supplies, transportation, personal expenses. So you may notice that your financial aid award is greater than the cost to attend, and that's because we want you to take into consideration additional costs that you may have that you can utilize financial aid for. So you may be wondering what's next. After you receive your financial aid award and you review it, you commit to Grand Valley, you want to make sure that that financial aid award is going to pay to your account when that bill goes out. So you're going to have to respond to your financial aid award. You're going to log on to your My Banner, and there's step-by-step instructions on how to do that on the website that is listed, gvsu.edu/financial-aid/accept. It's going to give you those instructions to go online and choose to accept or decline those loans or that work study that is on your financial aid award. In order for those loans to pay to your account, you're going to have to complete a few federal requirements. Now, please note, once you do this, these are good for 10 years. So applying for financial aid as an incoming freshman is like a marathon. You file that FAFSA for the first time, you get your financial aid award letter, you review it, you take the time to accept it, then you have to go to the federal site. You have to complete that entrance counseling and that master promissory note. And I promise you, every year it gets easier. The FAFSA becomes a little easier. That master promissory note and entrance counseling are good for 10 years. We also list the annual student loan acknowledgement on here just because it's a great resource that the federal government provides to students for them to keep track of their borrowing. They can look into that every single year and make sure they are on track and have an idea of that loan, the loans that they have borrowed in the past. Now, parents may be eligible to borrow a Parent Plus loan for their student. That application is open on May 1st. Parents have to apply and be credit approved for that loan. We have more information about that loan on our website as well. And if you are interested in borrowing that loan as a parent, again, on May 1st, you can start applying for that loan for the fall semester. So once you get all of your financial aid in place, your scholarships and grants will automatically pay to your account. If you're going to borrow loans, now is the time to start working on those federal requirements. You're going to get registered for classes when you attend your orientation session, and then you're going to get a paper bill in the mail at the end of July for the fall semester. Grand Valley bills one semester at a time. So you will get that bill for the fall semester. We will disperse your financial aid for the fall semester. And I want you to make note that payment for the fall semester is due on August 20th by 5 p.m. So you will only get a paper bill in the mail for that first bill. The rest of the time at Grand Valley, you will get a bill notification sent to your Grand Valley email address. And you as a student can choose up to 2 additional email addresses to receive that notification. So if there is a parent or a supporter that you want to make sure that they are also aware that the bill is out for the semester, you can add their email addresses to that. We will not actually send the e-bill in the email because of privacy purposes, but we will let you know it's available for you to view online. And that winter semester bill will be sent via email in late November. So that is how we will bill for the fall semester in late July, bill for the winter semester in late November, and financial aid disperses and follows that same pattern. You may be wondering about scholarships if you have applied for scholarships or even if you haven't applied for scholarships. If you have taken advantage of Grand Valley Scholarship Database, that application period was open from October 1 to March 1, and you may be wondering if any of those scholarships that you've applied for you have received. We right now and all of the scholarship committees on campus are in the process of reviewing all of those applications that you submitted. So one way for you to quickly find out if your application has been reviewed is to log back into your My Scholarships and see if that application is still in process or if a decision has been made one way or the other. So continue to check back into that. If you did not take advantage of or were not aware of our scholarship database for your freshman year, that's okay, because it's going to open on October 1 of this fall semester, and you can utilize this database for your upcoming years at Grand Valley to apply for scholarships. There are also many outside scholarships that are available for you to apply for, and a lot of those outside scholarships have later application dates, sometimes into June or July. So be sure to still log on to our scholarships website, see what outside scholarships you may be able to apply for. We have really narrowed down that database to include local scholarships to Grand Valley and scholarships that Grand Valley students have already received. So those donors are familiar with us. Here are a couple examples on the slide of where you may find local or private scholarships, community foundations, high schools, churches, local businesses. So there's definitely still time before school starts in the fall to continue to look for and apply for scholarships. Working on campus is another form of financial aid that is not traditionally thought of as such. And students can work on campus and earn a paycheck to pay for some of those extra expenses. The paycheck comes every other week, and you would be considered a student employee of Grand Valley. Now, I want to mention, if you do have a federal work study award, it shows on your financial aid award, but that money does not pay towards your e-bill. So you need to keep that in mind as you are budgeting and planning for the cost. Your work study will be paid to you in a paycheck every other week. So Grand Valley employs over 6,500 students each year. It's a great opportunity for students to be able to work on campus, to learn time management, to become a part of a support system on campus where your employer knows that you are a student first, you are here to go to Grand Valley, but you also are practicing time management and earning a paycheck while you are working on campus. Student jobs are posted throughout the summer, so there is not one day that all of the jobs will be posted. So I continue to check into our Handshake database as the summer progresses and see what jobs are available that you may be interested in. And if you don't find a job on campus before you come here in the fall, that's okay. Jobs are posted year-round. Some of you may be wondering about that FAFSA application that you filled out and realizing that you used 2019 taxes. And we are aware that a lot has changed financially for many families from 2019 until you attend college in the fall of 2021. So there is a process in our office where we can adjust your FAFSA based on current updated income information. So we encourage you to reach out to our office if you have any financial event such as a loss or reduction of income, a change in household size, or any of the other items that are listed below. If you are unable to file a FAFSA, we also encourage you to contact our office and we will go over a few different options that you may be eligible for. In wrapping up, I want to quick touch on the fact that I am also here today to quickly represent the Student Accounts Office. The Student Accounts Office is responsible for billing, payments, and the deferment plan. They also are responsible if you have a Michigan Education Trust or another college prepaid tuition plan, or an education savings or 529 plan. They are the office that you would want to get in touch with. And then wrapping up quickly with the other umbrellas of the financial aid office, I spoke briefly on financial aid scholarships and student employment. We also house our Money Smart Lakers program in the Office of Financial Aid and Scholarships. And as you are a student at Grand Valley, you will have an opportunity to utilize that program to talk about budgeting, building credit, and then as you look towards graduating and leaving school, wrapping up your loan history, taking a look at that, and doing financial aid exit counseling. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to turn it back over to Libby. I know that she's going to introduce a few students for you, which I'm sure you will enjoy hearing from.
Great. Thank you, Jenna. Before my colleague wraps up with the next steps, let's have a little bit of fun here. I've got a couple of Grand Valley students that have joined us, and I would first like them to go ahead and introduce themselves. Jordan, can you get us started?
Yeah, my name's Jordan. I'm a senior and I'm studying film and video, and I have a minor in nonprofit administration. And I'm from Grand Ledge, Michigan, so that's right outside of Lansing. And on campus, I'm involved in a couple of things, including the National Student Advertising Competition, the Cinematography Club, and the Honors College.
Awesome. Hi, Demaya.
Hi. Hi, everyone. I'm a junior here studying advertising and public relations. I'm from the Metro Detroit area. A couple things that I do on campus. I'm involved in Grand Valley's chapter of PRSSA, which stands for Public Relations Student Society of America, Grand PR, which is a student-run communications firm, and I'm also an RA on North Campus.
Awesome. And how about you, Scott? How are you?
Good. How you guys doing? My name's Scott Mullenix. I'm a senior from Greentown, Indiana, so about 3 hours south of here. I'm a communication sciences and disorders major. And then alongside working with admissions, I'm a part of the football team in Grand Valley. And then I also volunteered at CCSA, which is the Cannonsburg Challenge Ski Association, and then also the Children's Healing Center.
Awesome. So let's jump right in. Demaya, I'm curious, why did you choose Grand Valley?
So I chose Grand Valley because it had an awesome ad and PR program, and we work with real life clients. The faculty is super helpful, so I enjoy opportunities to grow.
All right, cool. Scott, what is it about Grand Valley that gives you a sense of belonging? How you feel like you're a part of this community?
Yeah, I think for me, a big part of that comes from living in the dorms freshman year, because for most people, it's really their first time away from home. And now you're filled in a dorm room, just filled with freshmen, all trying to learn the campus and make new friends. So it's just a new experience. And then I think the biggest thing for me was just a lot of people had their dorm rooms open. And so you would walk the hallways and then you'd always be seeing everybody saying hey, what's up? And I feel like that really just built a giant community. And then also the RAs, I thought, did a really good job too of posting events and different things for students to do. And then from there, you just make a bunch of friends in the living center, in the dorms, at Kleiner, which is one of our dining options. And I wouldn't trade my freshman year for anything. I think you really build a good foundation for a sense of belonging.
Awesome, thanks. So Demaya, can you tell us about the classroom sizes and the experiences you've had with faculty inside and outside the classroom?
Yeah, the class sizes at Grand Valley are pretty small. In the advertising and public relations just program, professors allow, to have that one-on-one, conversation outside of the classroom, in the classroom. Professors know you by name. Usually some professors will add you on LinkedIn, connect that way, help you find internships. Faculty have been really helpful with finding jobs and just kind of moving on after you do graduate. So I've had the opportunity to work in collaboration with Grand PR, which is nationally affiliated with PRSSA, when it's a student communications firm. So Dr. Adrian Wallace helped me with the application and was really helpful and open about just the whole experience. So I really appreciated it.
Awesome. Well, Jordan, you're a senior and it's so sad, kind of. I'm excited for you, but I've known you since you were a freshman. Can you provide an experience related to your major that was super impactful at Grand Valley?
Yeah, so this semester I completed my senior thesis project, which is a faculty-led thing. So I had a faculty advisor through my major help me and kind of advise me through the last year, and that was just really impactful because a ton of people through my department, as well as just across the university, like in facilities, event planning, the Office of Undergraduate Research and Scholarship, all of these people help provide me with resources that would make my project successful. And I couldn't have imagined before coming to Grand Valley the amount of support and like people just went out of their way to help me create this project and present it to the university and beyond. So that was really cool.
Awesome. Well, last question. I think we'll wrap up with Scott here. Scott, can you tell us like your favorite experience or like your most memorable moment, whether it be social or academic at Grand Valley?
Yeah, so for me, I have two. Freshman year, kind of like what I talked about before. I truly loved freshman year. You know, it's just like, even thinking about it, knowing that I have 2 more weeks left until I graduate, like really makes me miss like freshman year. And like, I get kind of sad just thinking about it because I have so many friends. I have friends from like the west side of the state, the east side of the state, Ohio, Illinois, like everywhere. And so like, and I'm going to miss every single one of them. Like they're my roommates now. Like I've been friends with them for about 4 years. So just really like just living in the dorms, like I said, it's just awesome. I loved it. I wouldn't trade for anything. It'll be memories that I'll have for the rest of my life. And then my second one is just being part of the football team. That's a unique experience that I got to have. You know, playing for GV is awesome. Playing in Lover Stadium, which is our home field, awesome. It's the best facility in Division II. And then just getting out and going on road trips, going to like Mississippi, the UP, all these different places was awesome. Like in the hotel rooms, like I wouldn't trade any of my experience at GV for anything.
Awesome. Well, thank you three so much for joining us. It was so good to see y'all again, and I hope you have a great weekend. And now I'd like to turn it over to my colleague, Megan Frierson, Assistant Director of Admissions, to wrap us up.
All right. So, hello, future Lakers. All right. I am here to tell you a little bit about next steps, what to expect. I get that the admissions process is definitely a process. So, I'm here to make it a little bit easier for you. So, the first thing that I'm going to talk about, I'm actually going to talk about advising and registration. And so, when it comes to advising and registration, that is your way of telling us that you are looking to commit to Grand Valley. So how you would do that is basically you would go to our advising and registration link, select the link, and you would log into the system. When you do that, we have 40 advising and registration sessions for our incoming freshmen. You would pick the date that works best for you. And then we ask for a $95 enrollment fee. This fee is fully refundable up until May 1. So this is letting us know that you are deciding to come to Grand Valley. Another thing is that when it comes to this advising and registration session, once you actually schedule, you will get an email from us. Now, this email is very important, and I want you all to take note about this. In this email, we want you to tell us more about you so we can build this customized plan for your advisor. So when you meet with them and you have that one-on-one advising and registration session, they know more about you and it can truly help with their class selection. So in that form, we ask questions about, are you taking some AP classes? Identifying what those classes are. Did you take any AP exams? A 3 or higher in those exams can get you credit here at Grand Valley. Are you taking any IB classes? Did you take the IB exam, CLEP exams? Are you doing dual enrollment? Are you taking courses at another community college or at another college? We want to know more about that. Also, what major are you interested in? This lets them know what are the best general education courses for your program, as well as some of those entry-level courses for that program. So we want to know as much as we can prior to that advising and registration session so we can go ahead and build that schedule for your freshman year. Another thing is that a big question we get, okay, what does the fall look like? We get it. Libby mentioned it in the very beginning. It is definitely a very uncertain time, but I can tell you here that Grand Valley is planning for full campus operations. along with regular campus housing, which we'll talk more about, student services, student life activities that you all heard about. We are expecting that, or we're wanting that for fall of 2021. So that's what we're planning for. Now, I know this is very welcoming news. In-person atmosphere is the signature of the Grand Valley experience. And we also know that times are changing and we may have to adjust, depending on the foresight or the agility or what's happening. So just know that, please continue to follow those health guidelines, take advantage of the vaccine when you have the opportunity. And we want you to arrive to campus for full campus experience. So our plan, full campus operations. That's what we're looking forward to. Now, I mentioned housing, and that's the next way you can tell us that you are coming to Grand Valley. So what we want you to do is complete the housing application, and you can find it in the chat if you go to that link. We have 5 options for incoming freshmen, and you're seeing it on the screen here. So our traditional style, our cluster style, our suite style, and then we have some apartment styles as well as on-campus apartments. Now, our housing is located on the Allendale campus, as well as we have housing on the downtown Grand Rapids campus as well. So for our students, you have a variety of opportunities. With some of our housing, they're even living learning communities. So if you are interested in the Frederick Meyer Honors College, that is a living learning community. And then we also have a brand new one that we're so excited to tell you all about. It's down on our Pew campus. It's a living learning community for our incoming freshmen. And I can tell you, the nice thing about living learning communities is that it gives an immediate sense of community, easy access to faculty, and then also learning experiences beyond the classroom. So what I'm telling you all is that we have a lot of variety here. So when it comes to housing, you complete the housing application. You'll pick your top 3 preferences. So you let us know which one you would like to live in. And then we ask for a $150 housing deposit. This is fully refundable up until May 1 as well. You will find more about what housing you're going to live in. This is typically later on. So in June, that's when you'll find out what housing option you're going to live in, who's going to be your roommate, their name and email address if you did not indicate a roommate, your move-in date. So you'll have all of that information. Now with our traditional, this is the basic option. We offer it as a single where you can have your own room. And then you also offer it where you can have a roommate. Just below that, you are seeing our cluster. You're probably like, Megan, that looks just like the traditional, but I can tell you, it's a little different. It is one of our newer options. It's also a living learning community, somewhat like the Frederick Meyer Honors College, as well as our downtown Pew campus living learning community with the cluster housing. You have freshman classes in the building, which is really nice, and then housing on the upper levels. With our traditional and the cluster, you will have community restrooms, but I can tell you the nice thing is that you don't have to clean them. So that's nice too. When it comes to the apartment styles, you're seeing that at the very top in the middle. That is our 1-bedroom, 2-person apartment style. There's a small kitchenette and a bathroom in that. And then to the far right, you're seeing our apartment style, which is a 2-bedroom, 2-person. So each person can have their own space, a small kitchenette, and a bathroom. And then just below in the middle, you see our suite style. This is like the middle of the row. And with the suite style, you have yourself and a roommate, and then you have a conjoined bathroom with you and your suite mate. So it's kind of nice. You get to have your roommate as well as 2 suite mates to build those relationships with and get to know. So remember, housing the next step, it's fully refundable, that housing deposit, that $150 up until May 1. Now, wrapped into the housing cost is our campus dining. And so we automatically include that in our freshman housing. We automatically provide 14 meals per week and then $225 for those dining dollars. And we offer a variety of different places for our students to eat on campus. And so what you're going to find is that we have 24 restaurants. If you love to eat like me, like Qdoba, Which, Panda Express, Subway, We even have a Starbucks. I'm on campus right now, so I'm going to head over to Starbucks afterwards. So we have a lot of opportunities for our students to eat here on campus. And then with your meals that's in the cafeteria, having a full meal. And that's nice as well. A great way to build community. And remember, it's included in your housing rate here. We also have convenience stores on campus. So, hey, if you have a headache, you need to grab, some aspirin, or you just want to grab like a Gatorade, like Libby said, we have that here on our campus as well. And then, when we get ready for our sporting events, you can also use those dining dollars for those athletic concession stands as well. So again, that is wrapped up on our campus. One thing you should know, we get this question a lot. What if I have a food allergy? What if I follow a specific diet? One thing I want you to know is that Grand Valley has a full-time clinical dietitian on our campus. Also at the campus dining site, you can find various different allergy menus, as well as if a student is following a specific diet, we have those menus there too. So it gives you an opportunity of where you can eat on campus, okay? All right. So it was so nice, having you guys join us today. We appreciate it. And one thing we want to make sure that are those important dates. So we don't want you to jump off without knowing what to expect. You have probably done some of these steps already, especially the fact that you are admitted. But I just want to kind of go over a few things just so you know. Okay. So financial aid, you heard Jenna talk about that. It opened October 1st, but the deadline is March 1. If you have not done this, you want to make sure that you complete that FAFSA, that you get that in. And if you haven't received your award letter, you want to make sure that you contact our financial aid office. My scholarships, the deadline was March 1st. However, you could look in there. I did hear that there are some additional scholarships that you could possibly find. So it is worth looking in there to see what's available. We also have an outside scholarship network on our financial aid page. You can check that out. And don't forget to ask your counselors, okay, do you know what other scholarships are still out there? That housing, you have time to do that. Fully refundable up until May 1, that $150. Don't forget to plan your advising and registration session. Go ahead, secure your date to meet with your advisor. And guess what? If you have not been able to come to campus just yet, once you schedule your advising and registration session, I will tell you, we are going to reach out to you and invite our admitted students to take a campus tour. We know it's been a rough year. We want you to see the campus. We want to get you excited for the fall. So look out for those emails. For those that have already scheduled their session in May, you might have even already received an email. So check your inbox. If you are interested in the Honors College, go ahead and submit that application. The deadline is May 1. And then for those students that were admitted by December 31st, you have the opportunity to submit updated information for merit scholarship consideration. So if you find that you're like right there for the Laker or the Award for Excellence Scholarship, go ahead and submit an updated SAT or ACT score. It must come from College Board or directly from your high school. Have your high school transcript sent. It can come from your high school or through parchment or electronic system. It just can't come directly from you. So the deadline for that is July 31st. You still have time, okay, to submit that information. So again, if you were admitted by December 31st and you find that you're close to those qualifications, you want to make sure that you get that into us. Move-in day, you're getting ready to come on campus in August. Transitions is also a part of a move-in. So you get to meet other students. You get to go ahead and engage with other students, connect, meet faculty. And one thing I don't want you forget, we have fabulous faculty here. So don't forget about how they like to connect with students. You are going to get, faculty are going to reach out to you. We have a program, it's called the Student Success Network. They want to connect with you. Every student, incoming freshman, is assigned a faculty. And guess what? They're going to email you and say, hey, welcome to campus. How can I help you? I'm here to assist you with your transition. And this is something that is going to happen prior to your move-in week. So look out for that email. All right, so that was a ton of information. I get it, but we are excited. We want you on campus this fall. We thank you for joining us. We thank you for listening to all the different presenters. If you want to connect with Libby, you have her email on the screen here. Dr. Anderson, if you want to connect with him, you have his contact information. Financial aid, that's a big piece. You want to make sure that you connect with Jenna if you have any questions. And then myself, feel feel free to email me if you have any questions. So we are all here to help you. We are all here to support you. And don't forget, if you have not taken a campus tour, the campus is open. So if you don't want to wait until you get that email, you are welcome to come to campus, walk around. I'm on campus right now and looking out the window. It's beautiful here this Saturday. So definitely come check us out, and we thank you. And we're going to stay right here on the presentation. If you have any questions, go ahead and put it in the Q&A. We're happy to answer your questions, and I hope you all have a fabulous Saturday. Thanks for your interest in Grand Valley State University, and go Lakers. Bye.